Today, I'm going to show you how to achieve this using only this. A lot of you are probably familiar with the classic ranch fly traps, a funneled net with a small opening that has some form of bait at the bottom. We attempted to use the classics, placing numerous types of food scraps into the bait bowl. Though we were catching some flies, the numbers weren't satisfactory, and our fly problems seemed to persist. Little did I know I had the ultimate fly bait already brewing out in my garden. Weed tea, a cocktail of various leafy garden weeds left to rot in water. My original intentions were to use this as a fertilizer for my plants, but every time I opened the container, I noticed that flies would be buzzing around due to the odor produced from the decomposing amino acids in the leaves. Seeing this, I took a small amount of the liquid and poured it into the traps. Sure enough, in just 2 hours we had already caught hundreds of flies in 2 different traps, a huge improvement from before. As time has gone on, the flies are now stacking up layer by layer in the bottom of the traps, and the swarming sound they produce when you touch the trap is very intense. To make your own fly bait liquid, you will just need a 5-gallon bucket paired with a lid, and some leafy weeds from your yard. Now the best weeds to use in your bait will be anything that has broad leaves and grows fast, as these types of plants usually contain the most amino acids and rot the quickest. Here in Florida, I use Spanish needles and wild bitter melon, as they produce an abundance of green material, which is perfect for generating a high level of odor. Fine grass clippings also work well, but larger grasses will not, as the higher carbon content produces less odor. Once you have your weeds of choice gathered up, shove them down tight into a 5-gallon bucket, filling at least half the container with plant material. A great way to speed up this process is by adding leaf mold from under a tree into the mix. The fungal spores will activate and accelerate decomposition. Fill the rest of the container with water and allow it to rot for at least 5 days. Also ensure that the lid is tightly attached. The reason for keeping the lid on is obviously, first of all, so you don't offend your neighbors, but also to trap the odor in the liquid, saving it for when you actually plan to use it. When the stench emitted from the liquid is potent, add a half cup to each trap, and I guarantee you will catch way more flies than you ever have. After the population is reduced and you are no longer being harassed by the flies, simply pour the rest of the mix into your compost pile or onto your garden plants. Those rotten leaves make for a highly nutritious organic liquid fertilizer, and the odor will quickly neutralize once the liquid makes contact with carbons in the soil. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Feel free to leave a comment below with any further questions. And to all you farmers and gardeners out there, happy growing!